Merry meet and blessed be, everyone. How are you? How's everybody doing? All right, so I am starting on the next video of the tarot readings, and that will be for general reading and general energies once again. I am using different decks this time from the last time. I have a variety of them, so if you have a reading that you would like that was specifically on something, like I have darker tarots, I have cards for darker readings or shadow work. I have some for that are specific to witches only, some that are specific to, like, if you want angel readings, love readings, light readings of connecting to the light and light languages and that sort of thing. Fairies. I'm just checking my bookshelf here of what I have. Deities that you wish to get in touch with, that kind of thing. So just kind of a variety of stuff, and I really enjoy doing different varieties. I did used to specialize only in Rider-Waite, and I didn't, and it was only during COVID that I really branched out into different decks and different oracle cards and different things like that, and had a really good time with it. All right, so what I am doing today is I'm using a brand new deck that I have not actually done formal readings with. That is really fun. It is a Rider-Waite. It is what is called the Gold Foil Tarot. Found it at a local shop. If you're local, then you know who Deli's is. And I will ask them permission if I can. Oh, I got something in my eye. Ask them to make sure if it's okay for me to refer them, so that, but if you're local, then you probably know who I'm talking about. And right now I know that, because I'm just getting started, that most of the people who will be watching this are my friends and family who are very supportive in my endeavors here. But I'm hoping to grow and expand, and I know that I need to post more often, and I need to learn how to do shorts and TikTok videos and all that. So we'll just learn together. And I did find my ring light and a tripod that actually worked, so it's a little better, but at the same time it's kind of unstable, so we'll just see how it goes. Okay. Anyways, for astrological things that are coming up for this evening, we have Mars going into Leo. But sometime in the I think sometime after midnight, depending on what time zone you're in, I suppose. Which it is going to be moving out of the Cancer. That has made us all feel very uncomfortable lately, because that, a fire Mars going into a water sign like that is very uncomfortable. So it makes us feel uncomfortable as well. But it's going to be moving into Leo after this, which is a fire sign. We have a sun in Aries, which is a fire sign. We have moon in Sagittarius, which is a fire sign. So there's a lot of fiery energy going on right now that is going to want us to, for one, you want to be careful with your communication, so that you're not getting into arguments and debates that way. But it is also very good for fighting for what a cause that you believe in, or for fighting for what is right and to protect and the needs for others. And this upcoming Saturday is one of our national protest days. So it'll be very good for that kind of energy of getting it out there, as long as it's done responsibly and carefully, because we don't want it erupting into anything like violence or conflicts. We just want to peacefully protest to make our voices heard as we work towards what is right in the world. So I will throw up each of the cards as I can expand my studio here, hoping to be able to do the two cameras. Nobody actually mentioned in comments here, but they did in person, of wanting to be able to see the cards while I'm actually doing it, wanting to see my face and the cards at the same time with a split screen. And I'll have to work towards that. It'll just take some time. Right now I'm kind of working in a very limited space of what I have. Thank you for the comments of the cameos of my kitties. Right now they just all had their dinner, and everybody's kind of taking their early evening nap. Then they'll start bugging me for their midnight snack after a bit. So I don't know who will come over to make their cameo or their appearance, but we'll see who will bless us with their presence as we go. All right. Let's see. Now I know that a lot of readers will call upon in certain prayers as they're coming. I kind of learned over the years to multitask. So I'm actually doing that while I'm talking and shuffling all at the same time. And it helped it if I try to focus on actually sharing with you what is going on with my prayers as I'm shuffling, it actually distracts me from connecting to those energies. So I'm not going to do that. All right. Maybe later on, I will let you know what my prayers are of when I'm speaking to my angels, ancestors, and guides, and into the Akashic library of being able to find the information that is best to reveal to you, whatever message is out there that is for all of us. Sometimes it's for a specific person, sometimes it's not. It's just, kind of like I tell people all the time, take it with a grain of salt. If it resonates with you, then it's for you. If it doesn't, then it isn't. So just kind of take what works, what doesn't. And I love these new cards. They're kind of a plastic coating to them, and they make them really easy to shuffle for a new deck like this. And I don't know. I just kind of went with different decks this time. I go with what feels right to me before I start a reading. And sometimes in the middle of the reading, energies will change and I'll feel like the need to be drawn to a certain deck and grab it and to work with that. Okay. All right. Let's see what we go on. If anybody is interested, I have right now on my altar and my table for doing this is that I do have my black tourmaline. I love this black tourmaline. Tourmaline was introduced to me by my mother and my aunt of really good for getting rid of negative energies when I was dealing with some a difficult time in my life that needed some extra protections. And ever since then, I have kept black tourmaline around me and working with selenite, which I am wearing underneath all this. Is I have lepidolite and selenite that I wear together when I do readings, Aslan, and one of the blue stones that I might be drawn to. This is a very rare stone that I recently got, and I forget what it is called. It's like chevalite, I think it is, but it's a combination of pyrite and copper and quartz and some other things within it. And I just was really drawn to it and I had to have it, and I'm working with that today. And then this one here has a fossil, an opalite fossil of in ancient times that helps me grab up connect to ancient memories within the earth, going back to times like Atlantis and Lemuria for me to communicate with. They're not necessarily the most beautiful gemstones and such, but they're the most effective, and I really enjoy working with more of the rough cut than I do, but I do have a variety of different things that I might work with. Anything else? Incense is amber today. I really like the energy of amber. It's a solar energy connection type scent, and also stone. It's derived from fossilized pine sap from the ancient world. And let's see, what else do I have? I just have a regular white candle burning for my energies here. Just to kind of give you an idea what's going on. Our first card is Six of Cups. And we'll see how this see how that gold foil is on it. This came up last reading, didn't it? These the childhood nostalgia memories, tapping into that playful side of ourselves. Fire is good for that. It's a good fire is a good element for tapping into our childhoods and learning to play and to find joy. It could also indicate being around your pets, energies around our pets that are doing. I don't know about you, but I've had a lot, and I've known people through the grapevine of people that are dealing with certain situations with their pets' health. Some have lost their pets as they have crossed over the Rainbow Bridge, and the vet bills here have completely wiped out my account. Everybody turned out to be perfectly fine and healthy, but there were some concerns that we had that I wanted to make sure everybody was actually healthy and it wasn't anything to be concerned about, which thankfully it was not. So the Six of Cups centers around children, pets, and our memories from childhood. It can also indicate a reunion with somebody from your past coming in, and that is what is setting our stage today, for which is kind of interesting to me because that's been coming up a bit, and I'm not sure entirely why. We'll find out looking out back on it. Well, interesting. Continuing with our energy of fire. I don't know if you can hear it, but our whippoorwill has come back, and he usually sings his songs throughout the night um, when the weather with the warmer weather all through summer. And listening to him coming back is just making me feel like, yay, summer is coming. So maybe that's why we're feeling some of the fire as well. Well, their next card is King of Wands. I don't know if you can see it. I know they're kind of shiny because they are the gold foil, but it is the King of Wands. Represents the sign of Leo as well. If I pause, it's because I'm trying to tap into what is the message after actually being conveyed. Because anybody who reads tarot, you know that each of the cards has a wide variety of messages it could cover. And the King of Wands, it being a court card, any of the court cards has so much it could be covering. It could be a person, it could be attributes of a person, it could indicate an energy that surrounded or the sign that they represent. So we're looking at some Leo energy here, which may have been because I was talking about the Mars going into Leo tonight. Maybe that's what kind of went into it, but it's in a helpful position, so it's helping us in some way. And I just kind of feel it like it's looking into the future, but I mean, it's kind of looking in the past too. We'll see how it goes. Okay, let's go on to the next card of what we're standing upon. What did I say about Leo energy? Strength. Strength is the Leo card. And that is what we're standing on. So we're definitely dealing with some Leo energies here. Strength as a card represents our spiritual higher self actually overcoming and taming the appetites of our lower self, the animal self, and such. So that is the foundation that we need to stand on right now of what we have learned in the past, of what it means to place ourselves into a higher position where our higher selves is overcoming that of our lower. So like when we're tapping into our childhood, not the immaturity of it, but the wisdom of what the child has. All children have a wisdom that is not immature, that we bring from the side that we came from, that we will return to when we transition from this life into the next. So it's kind of looking at it. It also is a balance between the male and the female. It's just a really good spiritual card to have. That strength is, that inner strength, which is the lesson right now, which I had conveyed last time, that the lesson that we're having here is developing our inner strength and focusing on the spiritual aspects of ourselves so that we can bring so we're better prepared for the conflicts that are upcoming, to overcome them for the betterment of all of humanity, so that we're in a position of strength, of being able to overcome the negativity that we're dealing with. Interesting. Next one is the Ace of Swords. I'm gonna have to do something to where the light doesn't actually reflect this. It would probably be better if when I'm able to do a camera from like seeing the reading downward, but it's all an experiment. It's a see what we're gonna do. So the Ace of Swords is, I always see the swords as representing our minds. Swords are representing the air element, and it represents justice and things, being able to discern the truth. the Ace of Swords, the way I see it, is where we've taken the fragmentations of our minds and our thoughts and be able to focus them into one goal that we're going to use to overcome for victory. And here's the crown for sovereignty. We have the king, we have the Leo, representing royalty, sovereignty, especially over ourselves, because swords are internal conflicts. Wands will be external conflicts. These are internal conflicts that happen within our minds, and where we're overthinking things and such. And so this, the Ace of Swords is allowing us to take those fragmentations, putting it into one focus towards a victory. These are symbols of victory here with the laurels, um, and the olive branch there. So towards peace, as well as the crown representing that we overcome the adversity that we're up against. All right, and then this will move us forward as we move into the reading to the Hierophant. This came up last time too. Spiritual advancement, unlocking the keys, unlocking the mysteries for us. And you notice it's a completely different deck, brand new, hasn't been used before, with me doing this, and compare it to the last reading we had. It always amazes me how that works. The interesting thing about this card is that one priest here, one of the acolytes, one has the lilies, the white lilies, and the other one has the red roses, which you will also find on the traditional magician card. White lilies represent our spiritual purity, and the red roses represent our passion. And learning to combine the two is how we are able to move forward on our spiritual path towards enlightenment and knowledge of ourselves. So it's being able to combine that purity of the white lily, Easter coming up this weekend, and the red roses of passion, combining them together towards a spiritual advancement, which the Hierophant represents. It represents initiating into our next step on our path, our spiritual path. Okay, our next one's Nine of Pentacles. What are we working towards? What is our goal? What are we hoping to accomplish? Nine of Pentacles. Nine of Pentacles is independence, financial security, the ability to relax and be luxury. It is considered a feminine card, representing the independence and strength of an independent single woman. It's usually a single woman who is proud to be happy to be single. She can relax in her garden with her pets. She has financial security where she doesn't need a man, so that's where it represents independence. This is what we're working towards. The way the energies astrologically are working are towards the divine feminine, that this is the time for feminine independence. And as the rise of that happens, of course, we're experiencing the opposition from the masculine side, which is being used in a negative manner of trying to suppress that independence of women and female and the goddess within, however you wish to define feminine. So what we are working towards is towards the independence of women to have financial stability that she herself has earned on her own, to relax in her luxury that she did not get from anyone else. She has experienced this on her own, which kind of makes you wonder, like, what would that work with, like the Ten of Pentacles, which came up last time, which is the legacy. But right now it just means that we are working towards, and what we're hoping to accomplish is that what we wish to be victorious in is to relax in material stability, where we're not struggling, we're not working so hard for a paycheck, we're not working, just to pay the bills. We have established that sense of security where we can just enjoy our lives, our hobbies, our families, just being with ourselves, that peace and confidence that we might have. What is going on with us internally is the Six of Swords. We are moving from one part of conflict to another, we're escaping this conflict. So as we do this within ourselves, it will then manifest into the physical. Remember, swords are within our minds. So the Six of Swords is moving beyond, away from troubles, towards something more peaceful. It's been a very positive reading, with everything going on. A lot of the energies, though, that when I do readings have been very positive overall. This is going to end up being a longer video because we're already at 20 minutes in, so I apologize for that. But I just have kind of my musings that I do. All right, so Seven of Pentacles is next, which is reaping what we sow. This is what's going on in the world right now. The seeds that were planted, we're now harvesting what it produced for us, what we did. So those who, for example, voted for the current administration, they are reaping the rewards of what they are responsible for creating. Now, is that harvest? Ooh, interesting. Last time we did talk about harvest, didn't we? What is that harvest that we are experiencing when we have toiled and we've worked so hard? Do we have a good bounty of it, or is it not as, what we expected? Sometimes you can work really hard and you may have a really good bounty from your harvest of your garden, or it could be one that circumstances are such that you do not get from your garden what you would hope to reap as benefits. So this is that pause. Seven of Pentacles is that pause in between where you've planted the seeds, you've worked on your garden. Now you're waiting to see how it's going to grow and what your harvest will be. It's that in between state where you're really tired and you're just kind of going, take a break for a moment, catch your breath before the next part of the work begins. Interesting. Well, we are now at 3 major arcana, so it is a divine message. This is the High Priestess. This also goes along with the last reading I did. Last time we got the iceberg, the tip of the iceberg. The High Priestess is like that too. We're not seeing everything. Be interesting if the moon makes its appearance in this reading when I do the second deck. But the High Priestess is saying that there is a mystery here. There's something that we're not seeing. There's a secret. Maybe we're afraid of the answer. It is in the position of hope and fears, or we're hoping that we will get that answer. She represents Isis, which is again the feminine energies here. A lot of that kind of going on, even with the Leo, even the Leo card. It's a feminine power type card, which is interesting. And our outcome is the Seven of Cups. I always see the Seven of Cups is be careful what you wish for because you're going to get it. So be sure that you're choosing with wisdom. It's one of the wish cards in the deck. So right now you have the ability to wish for what you want, but be careful because some of those wishes may have a price to pay. Just out of curiosity, wondering what's going on at the bottom of the deck. Ah, there's our anxiety. Nine of Swords once again. We had that last time as well. So even though we have this anxiety, we're getting a divine message that everything is going okay as long as we can keep our anxieties in check, our fears in check. If we're able to ground ourselves, keep our focus positive, and fighting for the right reasons and for justice and such. I'm really drawn to something on this card that I've never ever seen on a Six of Swords before, which is interesting to me, that there are stars in the background that are like shooting stars. What is the message of a shooting star? Make a wish. Make a wish. It's just kind of doing some extra cards real quick. Ten of Wands, which is a burden. Temperance, a Sagittarius card representing keeping the balance between water and fire. And the Queen of Pentacles, which represents the sign of Virgo. So you look into that as you wish. My next deck I'll be doing to do our clarification and such is what is called the Everyday Witch. is what I felt I would do, which is kind of a whimsical little deck of different things. So let's see here. Let's ask, we are looking for some confirmation of this energy where we're talking about the Leo, and let's bring it more into kind of a witchy type of message for those of us that are witches. This does, it felt like when I started that this was going to be a very witchy kind of energy, kind of reading. Is despite that I chose the Rider Waite to begin with. One of my oracle cards that I chose is Witch's Wisdom, which I'll do after this, and the other one is more Victorian. So it's kind of interesting because I kind of have like the balance between the witchy and the Victorian energies for some reason. Who knows? I don't know. I don't always. I will wonder, and I may not always find an answer of why I choose certain things. Two of Wands. Judgment came up reversed, even though these should not be reversed cards. Judgment. So we're dealing with karma coming back around. Two of Wands is waiting for your ship to come in. Having the world in your hand, waiting for the right opportunity to present itself. Judgment is a renewal of something that we had done. I'm just going to go through this very quickly so that I keep it thinking. Queen of Wands, which is an Aries card. We're in sign of Aries right now. Then the Three of Wands, trying to get those ships to come in. And there's an interesting connection between the Two of Wands and the Three of Wands. One is, this one doesn't actually show the ships in it like the other ones do, but are you launching your ships or are you waiting for them to come in? Are you exporting or importing? Maybe it has to deal with the imports and exports of goods and the tariffs associated with them. We'll have to see where it goes. Ace of Wands. Ace of Wands versus that of Ace of Swords. Ace of Swords has to do with your mind. Ace of Wands is the beginning of something like a new career, a new work of something, or a new creative project. Something like that. This one's in smoke. Is it going up in smoke? I don't know. We'll see how we have to cut. Sometimes readings make more sense in retrospect. But guess what? High Priestess. Now, when I get the same exact card in my confirmation, I put them together saying that this is the message that we really need to pay attention to, which is interesting because it also is a major arcana card. So that's like double with it. So we have the High Priestess twice. The High Priestess, and she's sitting there doing her readings in this particular card. The High Priestess is that there are secrets to be revealed. Something's being hidden. There's something that we do not see. And through the High Priestess, that information is revealed to us, for example, through divination. So I'll have to look in, that would be something to consider. The World. The World. It goes a lot with the Judgment that we had in that we are concluding a cycle. Judgment is the final amount of your karmic. It's time for the kitties to come in, and there's one kitty still outside. That's little boy, and Mark and my roommate Mark White Oak. I should use his name. White Oak is actually calling for him to come in. So if you hear that, that's what it is. Last time though, everything that I hear, I could not hear on the video, so you probably don't hear it, but that's what's going on out there. All right, and then Five of Cups. The loss of something. The loss of something. Okay. Two of Pentacles. Keeping a balance. Keeping two things going on in the world. Like if you're juggling two jobs, or you're having to do, like you're working and being a parent, or it's doing two things at the same time and keeping them up. so that they're not falling and you're losing your balance with it. Some people will say it's being of two minds and making a choice. And then our outcome is Queen of Pentacles, which is interesting that the other, when I read ahead, had the Queen of Pentacles as well. So we've got some Queen energy going on, even though we started with the King of Wands. What do you think that means? Tell me what you think. I'm happy to hear your comments. Please go ahead and post those. Again, if you are interested to email me and you want a personal reading of any type, just go to email me at ask.arcana@gmail.com. Sorry, I think put too many dots in there. But I will post it again into the description so that you can find that. This deck here that I'm doing is an oracle, and you generally only pull one card with this, is the Vintage Wisdom Oracle. These are kind of a difficult one to shuffle traditionally. They are a little bit larger in my hands. I really enjoyed them when I first got them. They're good for by themselves. I don't usually use them for confirmation or as a specific oracle reading. The reason why I buy so many different decks and things is because with Rider-Waite, once I learn a deck, then I read too much into it. And so I try to find ones for myself more than anything else to read for myself for insight. I'm less likely to have bias or read into them if I don't know the deck very well. So that's one of the reasons why I collect different ones. Because as soon as I learn something really well, then it's too easy to read into it a certain way. Not always, it just depends. Protection. I love the images in these cards. So protection. And these cards have a lot of different symbolism in there. So you would look at like the swans and the moon, and how she has what looks like starlight on one hand being poured out onto the one swan from one hand, but not from the other. I would also associate her very much with the High Priestess as Isis. I kind of get that feel from it, for me personally. And then I would do the research on what the author or artist was trying to convey with the card. And I will try to maybe post that in the comments after a bit. One last thing, and then I'll end this, is I'm using the Witch's Wisdom, which I've always had a really good experience with for a confirmation. I love to do these when we meet together for Circle. For various people in the community and my own coven and such. So let's see. Give us some good insight here. What is the advice for us to take with us for the rest of the night and into tomorrow? If you would, please. Oops. And soon I'll have to introduce you to our new puppy when you hear the Lady Goddess, the Divine Feminine. That is the message for today, is the rise of the Divine Feminine. That is confirmation there. Absolutely. We'll keep going and see what else. From now until autumn, Watchtower of the West for autumn time. I like using cards that give me seasons. There is a way to tell timing with Rider-Waite as well. Using your imagination through the power of air. Doesn't that think of the Ace of Swords? We also had some swords with the Six of Swords, and then the Nine of Swords. Power of Air is imagination, though. So witchy, weather vane. I'm going to do a couple more. Magic Circle for protection. Well, there we go. Confirmation for the protection of the other card. Haha! We got 2 informations about protection. Setting up a circle. Setting up your protections around yourself and around your home. Working within a circle, I would recommend very strongly. And Athame, which goes along very much with our Ace of Swords, right? Yes. Which is, I'm having trouble reading it without my glasses, and I don't know where I put them. I didn't need it up until this moment. Boundaries. Athame, setting up boundaries, which was the message of the last one we had. And we're looking at Ostara with the incubation of the egg because we have Easter weekend. Something coming up in Beltane. Providing a union. Grounding into the earth. It's a symbol of a garden. Like setting up, getting ready to plant. I don't normally go through them like this. It just goes by what feels right. The moon and cycles. Again, the triple goddess and feminine energy. I'll end it there. Lots to contemplate. Isn't it interesting? I enjoy it. Thank you so much for being here. I know I went a little bit over, not as bad as I expected where I was at the end of the Rider-Waite reading. So anyway, thank you for being here. Thank you for making it thus far. Feel free to leave comments, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. I had a moth just fly by me, and it was just kind of distracted me and such. And let me know if there's anything you want me to focus on. I know I might do another video later on, because I did have a request for something for love life, and I will do a video centered around that. This one is just for the just a generalization, and the generalization that we got today just to kind of recap, focus, ground within yourself with inner strength, tap into that Mars and Leo energy coming in of fighting for the right causes, knowing that there's something that we still that is left to be revealed, something that we cannot see at this time, that we might maybe get a hint of, but we haven't seen the full picture just yet. We're moving beyond things, work on some protection, work within a circle. And what was the other thing that I was saying? Oh, in the rise of the divine feminine. There we go. All right. Thank you so much. Merry part until we merry meet again, and many blessings to all of you. Have a wonderful rest of the evening and a wonderful weekend. I'll talk to you soon. Bye now.